Hi guys, welcome back. So today I want to do chat spat, and the reason for this chat spat was, as most of you know, I haven't really been making videos that much just for the fact that I feel like dog shit, literally horrible lately. On top of the pregnancy, which has been the worst pregnancy I've ever had, I have a horrible sinus infection on top of it. So I've just been like dead. But by being dead, it has allowed me to kind of lay down in bed a lot and have nothing to do other than watching everybody else. Just looking at my social media over and over and over again like I have no life. So I'm seeing and hearing everything. And I'm reading all of your guys' comments, and just I keep seeing the same thing over and over again, these same unanswered questions going around, and I just really wanted to talk about it. I wanted to talk about my side of it, and that would be sponsorships, but more specifically, why you as viewers don't see sponsors that are negative. You don't see reviews that are sponsored that are negative or that are bashing the company. And I see those questions constantly. Well, why don't we ever see a negative review when it's sponsored? You know, it must mean that all sponsored videos are fake, that they're lies, etc., etc. And I do see that point to an extent, but there are so much more that goes into it. And I have discussed sponsors so much on my channel. So I do want to answer this specific question because I don't think I've ever specifically talked about this when it comes to sponsorships, as to why you guys never see negative reviews with sponsors. So if you guys want to discuss that with me, if you want to know how I feel, what I'm going to say, then just sit tight and we'll get right into it. So a lot of you might just be like, why do we even care? You know, like, get your money. Some of you are just like, get your money. I trust you. It doesn't matter. It's the hustle. You know, there's that side, and then there's the other side that says, I don't have anything to do with sponsors. I don't watch them. I don't want nothing to do with them. They're basically commercials. Everybody who does them is full of shit. You know, there are two sides to that coin when it comes to sponsorships, but really I feel like the side where it's coming from, I don't do sponsors, I don't watch sponsors, as much as that's someone's personal preference and opinion and they are allowed to do whatever they want to do, it is their prerogative, it's their time. I feel like it's ignorance that is actually driving that feeling, and it's the fact that people don't know exactly what sponsors are, what goes into them, and the behind the scenes details of them. Now, every time I've seen someone talk about sponsors, and I've seen so many even bigger channels these days talking about sponsors and affiliate links, a lot with the affiliate links, because you guys as viewers are sick of the fucking affiliate links. You know, Morphe and Sigma and Numi and all of those affiliate links that you're getting thrown at you, Jouer, you know, mostly on Snap, but it's in the videos too. You guys are throwing such a stank that, of course, the YouTubers are taking notice, and that once again comes back around to something that I've always said, with you guys have all the power. If you want to be heard, then stand up and speak. And they have to hear you because you're the reason why they are what they are. So if you speak loud enough, you will be heard. So I do see a lot. I think Jackie Aina, I think her name is. I'm not really sure how to say her last name. Manny even went off a little bit on Snap about it because, you know, he's a follower. I think that Jacqueline even talked about it for a little bit. I mean, a bunch of people of the bigger crowd are coming out talking about sponsors and affiliates. And I was seeing that and I was watching it. And they're not wrong with what they're saying. They're not wrong in the least in what they're saying. And they said one crucial point, and that was to trust who you watch. Do not watch a YouTuber you don't trust. That's where you become bitter. But under all of these videos, you know, I go straight to the comments because I want to know what people are saying. I know what a YouTuber is going to say. I know what the bigger YouTubers are going to say, okay? Because they're not going to say anything that's going to put any kind of negativity towards their cash cows. So I know what they're going to say, you know? But I want to know what you guys have to say. I want to know the questions that aren't being answered, you know? So I always go to the comments and I see this same question over and over and over again, and it has tons, hundreds of likes on it, which means people agree and they want to know too. And it's always, well, why do we never see a sponsor that's negative? Why do we never see a sponsored video that the YouTuber doesn't like the item? And for me, it was quite obvious. It's an obvious answer for me. And I'm just like, how is this not obvious for other people? And that's where my ignorance comes in, because I wasn't a YouTube viewer for too long before I became a creator, before I delved into that world and I was behind the scenes. So I guess my own ignorance came into play with that, with not thinking, not knowing that everybody's going to have my common sense. Not everybody's going to have common sense in general. Not everybody is going to care to want to know or find out the behind the scenes on sponsorships. You know, they go from what they hear, what they read in comments, what other creators are saying, and they kind of make up their own story, so to speak. And even though it's what they believe to be their truth, it's really not. Because when it comes to sponsors, I've made this mistake too. When I first started, I thought I knew everything. I didn't. I still don't. But when it comes to sponsors, every single person is different. I can't sit up here and tell you that I know how much a certain company is paying a certain YouTuber, even though I've worked with them. Because they have a different deal. It's a different business deal. They could be being paid something completely different. That YouTuber could say, hey, I don't want to be paid, just send me the item. And even though I know that that company is sponsoring people, I can't automatically say, you're a liar, you're being sponsored because they're a sponsored company. No, it's all in between the personal YouTuber and the personal company. It's a personal business deal. So you never know what is going on. And with payment wise, it always depends on 1, your subscriber count, 2, your view count, and 3, how badass as a YouTuber you are in business or your manager is. Because someone who has 500,000 subscribers could get paid 10 grand for a sponsor. Another one who has 300,000 subscribers could have a manager, and that manager could be like, she doesn't do nothing for less than 20 grand. And that company could want that YouTuber bad enough to where they pay it. So you have someone with 300K getting paid 20, someone with 500K getting paid 10. You never, ever know. You never know. So that's something that I really do want you guys to take into consideration when you think about sponsors, is that every single deal with every single YouTuber is different. The amount they get paid, the deal that they have, the length of the deal that they have, whether they have a contract or not, it's all different. You never know. And even YouTubers never know. I don't know how much another YouTuber is getting paid, even if I'm being sponsored by the same company. But I'm getting off on a tangent here. The point is to explain to you why you never see negative sponsorships. And it's quite easy. It's very easy. And the answer to that is because no company is going to pay someone to bash their item. When you're paying for a review, you are essentially paying for a positive review, but an honest one as well. Now, how that goes about that, because you're saying, oh, you're paying for a positive review. You know, YouTubers say they never pay for, they never take payment for positive reviews. This is how it goes. This is how it goes. No company is ever going to be like, you just said my product is shit. I'm not paying you money to put that out there. Like I could have just given you the product for free and you could have like no obligation to it. Say what you want and we're not losing out anything. And that's what happens a lot of the times. Now, when you do a sponsored, it's how you do it that people don't understand. Now, mostly when I do sponsors, I either get it through a personal email, I go through FameBit, or I go through Grapevine. Now, FameBit and Grapevine is kind of like a store where you have all of these companies and their products listed for you to see. You see the company's proposal about what they want, what due date they want, and how much they're willing to pay. My nose is running and it's distracting me so bad. But that is when I put my proposal in and I say how much I want to get paid, when I can have the video done. And I always write in there that I don't want to commit at that moment, that I do want to test the product out and see for myself if I want to go ahead with the sponsorship. Because people do not go ahead with sponsorships if they do not back the product 100%. Now, of course, there's going to be people out there who do. You guys will see right through them. You guys are way too educated on sponsors and what's going on now to have the wool pulled over your eyes. You guys know way too much. So there is a small percentage of YouTubers who are actually doing that, and it's quite obvious. Just use your common sense. Use your eyes. You will know. It's just like, bam. It's very, very obvious that the person probably got that item that day and they're just winging it for the money. Or that they really just hate it or don't even know how it works. It's very, very obvious. But for all the rest of us, If we do a sponsor, we only went through with that sponsor because we absolutely loved the service or the item or whatever it is we're being sponsored by. We absolutely love it. Even if it's something as stupid as Fiji water or, you know, Coca-Cola or something stupid like that. I have to be honest, if I was ever contacted by Coca-Cola to do a sponsor, I would do it. Whether I'm a beauty channel or not, that's freaking Coca-Cola. I've drank Coca-Cola since I was like 6 years old. Okay, I love them. Love them. You know, so I know that they're not a scam. They're not something that's going to take money from you and be complete shit. Everybody drinks soda. You know, so things like that are just universal. The thing that really gets me, though, is the fact that people, whether they understand this or not, whether they know, whether they're clarified that the reason why people only see positive sponsors is because we don't do sponsors that are negative. Those just don't happen. You're not going to have a company that's just throwing out money left and right out the window just because they don't need it. You know, they're paying for a service. You know, so it's up to the YouTuber to be honest and only do that service if they really stand behind it, which a lot of YouTubers do. A lot of people go right towards, oh, they do sponsors, they're money hungry, you cannot trust them. That's not true. We do sponsors because most of us aren't Laura Lee. We're not Manny MUA. We're not Jeffree Star. You know, we're not dripping with money. We're just not. We don't have the money to keep up with our channels. If you guys want to keep having free content to watch, if you like us enough to support us, you have to put up with sponsors every now and then because we need money to keep our shit going. It's not free. It's free for you to watch. It's not free for us to make. Now, I have always been open with my sponsors. When I do a sponsored video, when I am being paid money to talk about a product, I always say it in the video and in the description box. I make it very apparent because I'm not hiding anything. I'm not holding anything back. I'm not ashamed of doing sponsors. I am a poor person, hence the broke bitch boat. Yeah, it's a real thing. I mean, I shouldn't even call it a boat because I can't afford one. So, you know, like I not only need money to just even be able to buy drugstore makeup. I can't even go and buy drugstore makeup without doing a sponsor. I do sponsors so I can do giveaways for you guys, so I can actually afford to ship them international. So my international peeps aren't left out of everything, you know? And I also do it because every single time I've ever gotten paid from a sponsor and I gave it to my husband, it has saved our ass. Either it paid for groceries, or it paid for a bill that we wouldn't have been able to pay that month anyway and it would have been shut off, or it pays for my kids' clothes or food. You know, like it's always saved our ass, no matter how small the amount is, because I don't get paid more than $150 per sponsor. Never. Never. So I think when people become bitter and they're mad about sponsors, like you want to be mad about them, I think it's more of ignorance and jealousy. A lot of people act like YouTubers don't deserve to get paid for what they do. And that's assumptions, which I fucking hate. Which we all do, but that's assumptions. You're assuming about how easy of a job this is, so you're assuming that we don't deserve to be paid. I'd like to see someone consistently put up videos 3 to 5 times a week and not want to get paid, because let me tell you, it is not easy. Even I thought it would be easier than it is, and I'm still not halfway as technical as most YouTubers have it. So a little understanding, less assumptions, and less judgments go a long way. Only watch who you trust and who you want to support, and these sponsors and these affiliates and all this, they don't matter because you want to help that YouTuber. It doesn't matter as long as you trust them. Trust them. It's very easy to see who you can't trust, but it's hard for me because I see all of these people that you shouldn't trust being envied and looked up to as gods, but then all the smaller YouTubers are being shit on for the things that they do. But like I said, I don't hide anything. I've always been an open book. So if any of this is not making sense, if you guys ever have any questions about sponsors or affiliates, ask me down below. Ask me anything that you want to, whether it's personal or not. I'm going to answer it if I can. I can only speak for individually for me because, heartburn. Because everybody's deals online are so completely unique and different. But I can tell you what I know. So if you guys have any questions about sponsors, anything that I said was unclear, let me know down below and we can have a discussion about it. I also want to know what you guys personally think about sponsors. Do you think that they're a big deal? I've seen so many of you actually tell me personally that you just skip over them when you know that they're a sponsor. But I've also seen so many people be like, this is sponsored, when it's not. Like my last Glossy Box unboxing that I did, someone said it was so boring, it's so obviously sponsored. No. I wish I was getting paid by Glossy Box because I love them, but no. They only send me the box. There's no money exchanged. I don't get paid for any of my unboxings that I do. Any of them. I don't get paid at all. Why? Because they're inconsistent. I wouldn't accept money from them. They're inconsistent. And I can't end a sponsor to keep getting the boxes. You know, it would make no sense, you know, because they're not going to pay me to say this box was crap. You know, so I want to keep a business relationship with them and not have that obligation hanging over my head. So, it just makes sense to not get paid by them. But like I said, if you guys have any questions, leave them down below. I just really wanted to talk about that and try to clear some things up as to why you don't see negative sponsors. You never will, because no company is ever going to just throw money in the trash can. They're paying you money to promote their product. You just have to trust the YouTuber is promoting something that they actually like. Thank you guys so much for sitting through this long garble of me talking about something that probably doesn't matter to you. I really do appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out with me for a little while. Like I said, if you have any questions, leave them down below. It doesn't matter if it's about sponsors or what. It really doesn't matter. Now that I have been feeling like shit, so I haven't been really putting up too many videos, you guys want to check the description box and follow my social medias, because that's where I have been on the most, especially Twitter and Snapchat. Instagram a little bit more than usual, but I'm on there almost daily. So if you guys want to catch a little bit of Niki daily, just follow me on there. You'll hear me. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and it was somewhat insightful. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.